I don't know where to start. This video is going to be really hard for me. I've had a lot on my mind. This video has spent an hour at least preparing and writing down what I'm going to do. I've then spent another couple of hours researching stuff, and I've come across some stuff that has really affected me today, which has affected me doing this video. So I don't know how it's going to come out.
Health Secretary Matt Hancock today tried to reassure people about food supplies in the coming months.
Tonight, a state of emergency declared in New York.
A surprise then, the Bank of England governor admits it could hit the economy in a big way.
So the kids are alone the whole day, usually not eating anything. Garbage from the garbage, in the garbage, they're left alone by their parents. The parents are trying to survive.
The last couple of weeks have been a bit of a crossroads for me. I've been thinking long and hard about my channel, and I'm just not really sure sort of where it's going. I'm not particularly happy with it. I mean, I think the content that I'm creating is okay, but I don't know, there's just something around what I'm making, the tutorials. Yeah, I've got so many mixed feelings about it. I mean, if you take photography and videography and filmmaking and all of that, if you look at YouTube, it's probably one of the most saturated, subjects out there. So that's one of the first things that sort of crossing my mind, is that why do I need to be making more in this space when there are so many other channels, better channels, doing similar stuff to me? So I'm thinking that, do I really want to be doing this? I mean, I make the tutorials and it gives me something to do, but it's not what I want to be making. For me, it just feels a little bit too easy. It's not that they are easy to make, it's just that I don't need to put a lot of thought and effort into making tutorials. And I would rather be doing something more fulfilling. But it's not just my channel that has got me thinking recently. I did a survey a few weeks back on mental health. It was a survey that was being carried out by a study done by a university, and it asked me loads of questions about my own mental health, but then there were some questions in there that I wasn't prepared for, and I certainly wasn't prepared to consider the answers that I gave. And these weren't around myself. These were, I mean, I think, in myself I'm reasonably okay as people go, but there are some questions around how you regard the world and humanity and your community. And I was really surprised with the answers that I gave, because when I look at humanity and the world going forward, I don't have a lot of faith. And that's the same with the community. I don't feel there's much community spirit. I mean, if you look at the coronavirus now, well, not everyone, but there's loads of people out there panic buying. It's just going nuts. There's no community spirit. I just think there's so many selfish, inconsiderate people out there, and yeah, it's sad that I feel this way, but it is. And they say in this day and age, it's better to talk about these things, get it out there. It's just that I'm getting it out to everyone. As part of this video, I explored more around this feeling that I have towards the future, the world, humanity, and I started to explore the things that sort of upset me. Quite often I feel that I just feel a little bit trapped. I just feel don't get me wrong, there's loads of good in the world, but there's so much that's wrong with the world, and I can't do anything about it. I can't fix it. And it bugs me. I know I'm an overthinker, but it does get me down. And today I watched some videos as part of doing the research for this video, and I came across some really hard-hitting stuff, and I'm going to show you a video, and I'm going to put a warning up because the video that I'm going to show you now, I don't know how long it's going to be, but it is going to show some quite upsetting scenes, and there were some scenes that I saw that were extremely upsetting, and I'm not going to put those in, but I may mention them at the end of the video so you can understand why I'm a little bit down and subdued, because I don't feel right. I've already gone down to Loretto earlier today, and I just burst into tears in front of him because I was so upset at what I saw. I didn't think that people could be so unbelievably cruel. We know that there's animal cruelty out there, but I don't think we realise to what extent that cruelty goes to. And I came across some stuff that I didn't even think people would even consider doing or were capable of doing. I mean, it just goes beyond belief. But I'm going to show this video now, and then we'll talk some more. Now, I know that was a really hard-hitting video, and I intended it to be that way. But at the end of the video, you saw shark finning, this obsession for shark fins. Particularly, it's the demand has been generated in China for their shark fin soup. But over the last, I don't know, decade, millions of sharks are killed every single year for their fins, and the way they do it is absolutely barbaric. They catch the sharks, as you see, and they're alive, and they cut the fins off and they throw them back into the sea, and they're still alive. They can't swim, they can't do anything, and it's one of the most upsetting things I've ever seen. But it's weird. I was watching another Netflix documentary, and it's around photography. One of the episodes had a photographer called Sean Heinrichs. I think that's correct. Yeah, I'm sure it's Heinrichs. Anyway, he was in Indonesia, in an island or an area called Raja Ampat, and he was doing underwater photography, looking at all the corals and all of the fish. But while he was down there, he was saying it just didn't feel right, and he couldn't at first put his finger on it, and then he realised there were no sharks. And then he realised that was because of the masses of shark fishing that goes on or was going on in that area. So he embarked on like a 5-year mission to go around all of the trawlers to show them what they're doing to the ecosystem, because they say that, without sharks, everything in the seas will fail because the sharks bring stability. Anyway, I'm rambling a little bit now. But anyway, he was following these shark trawlers, and one day he got the shot that he was looking for, and he found this shark that was sat on these corals, and it was just lying there. It couldn't swim because it had all its fins cut off, and it was just breathing. And he took some pictures and video, Anyway, he got in touch with some of his contacts and he said, I found the shot, and they together made a really high impact campaign video.
What if you could see how shark fin soup is made? If you could see how each year up to 70 million sharks are killed to end up in soup, could you still eat it? A third of all shark species are nearly extinct, but we can help save them.
Remember, when the buying stops, the killing can too.
Now they reckon the number of Chinese people eating shark fin soup has reduced by about 70 to 80% because they've seen this video. That's all it's taken, which sort of got me thinking around, it's sort of gone full circle because of this sort of, I've been a bit disillusioned, but I feel like I do have a place, I do have a purpose. Imagery gives you a voice and it can project things into people's hearts. And if people don't see it, they're never going to know about it. So it's all about sharing what we do as creators for other people to see, and we can really touch other people's hearts with the reality and beauty of everything that's going on. I mean, as a filmmaker, as a photographer, high impact videos and photographs, we've seen them before. I mean, the one in Vietnam with the young girl naked running down the road, that impacted the Vietnam War. I mean, that started to bring the end of the Vietnam War down to that one picture. It's unbelievably powerful if you can capture the right shot. Another thing Sean Heinrich said is that the power of imagery is inescapable, and what you have to do is just get out there and do it. And I've actually banged on about that in my videos, is, when you're messing around with your cameras, taking photographs or doing video, you just have to get out there and do it. And this is the same thing. People just have to get out there and do it. Go out into nature and listen, because nature is speaking. I know I can't change the world, but I can do my little bit. And if people see me doing my little bit, then maybe that will encourage other people to do their little bit. Because in order to take the world from where it is now to where I see it, everybody has to do that little bit. We don't have to go absolute crazy and become eco-warriors. We all just have to do our little bit. I just want to become the best version of myself that I can, because change influences others around you. I'm thinking maybe in the future, because I've talked about my channel and I'm not overly happy about it. And actually my channel, I first envisaged it to be something quite different to what it is now. I had this idea of sort of going out into nature, taking pictures of beautiful things, and then at the end of it doing a how did I make it, which you see on documentaries, because I don't see many people doing that on YouTube, and I was thinking that's a little bit of a niche, but I've never done it and I've never had the time. So I think I'm going to get back into that, but what that will mean is that I can't produce a YouTube video every week like they recommend you should, but I'm not in it for the money or the fame or anything like that. I want to do it for me, and if I can bring people on board with me, then great. I think from this moment on, I'm going to focus more on the quality of my videos rather than the quantity, and hopefully you'll stick with me. I'm sorry if this video has been a little bit not macabre, but it has had a different tone to it today, absolutely, and that was intentional. Thank you for watching. I hope you stick around for my future videos that are going to become less frequent, but hopefully the quality will ramp up massively.